Greetings, programs. Pyrrh Pianissimo here, and welcome to my Stoneblock 2 full bass tour. So today, Stoneblock 2 for Bedrock and Stoneblock 3 for Java both came out. I have to say, Stoneblock 2 has been my absolute favorite mod pack to play, so much that this would be my third playthrough, and I never did film it. But here you go. This is the bass tour. I thought it would be interesting to kind of go through it and compare it to some of the mods that are and are not in Stoneblock 3. So here we go. One thing I want to point out before I get started are the quests. Now, I thought if I were filming this series or doing a tutorial or whatever, I didn't want to claim all of these random rewards because some of these are super duper overpowered. In fact, I did not claim any loot crates from the mobs until I had what was inside it at least once. If I knew that I could make it or generate it, then I went ahead and then I started opening the loot crates. But I did not until I could. And these random rewards, it makes the game completely different for everybody. And yeah, it's fun when you start and get a party pickaxe right at the beginning. Those are pretty cool. Yeah, I decided to play through this without any random rewards. Now, if it offered something other than a random reward, I took it. But I left the random reward there. Again, it changes the game for everyone. So I will be doing this in Stoneblock 3 as well. I will not be claiming any of the rewards that are random. It's because they're just so dang overpowered. We're starting, of course, in my Master Control Center. I like to build one of these in most of my worlds. I've got my Applied Energetics and my EMC table there, of course, and my Draconic Evolution Crafter. I just love this thing. This is my absolute favorite mod, and it is not in Stoneblock 3, so that will be rather disappointing. You can look up and see the big ball there in my absolutely towering overhead of a base. So anyway, again, this is just basically the stuff that I would need to use all of the time. There's my flux storage. I've got my drives and things, my crafting tables, different things. One-off machines would go here. I've got a little auto smelter. I've also got a little mob killer underneath that will kill any random mobs that appear over here, although it usually just ends up grabbing one of the pink slimes. This is my atomic reconstructor. It's got a plate on it, and always, I mean, like every time I run by here, I hit it and it like zaps me in the butt. It's kind of funny, actually. Again, all of the neutron collector, woo! All of the little one-off things. I was making singularities over here. This is stuff that's not EMCable. I was experimenting with the glowstone to line the walls, and I think I settled in on this light gray concrete, but again, I just kind of gave up on it. It's just, I don't know. I've kind of lost interest in doing out the base. I really liked the shape of it, but then I kind of moved on to some other things. I did have some plans for this area in something decorative, and I'm thinking of doing the same type of thing in Stoneblock 3 and then actually following through with my decorative ideas for the base. So moving on, I think what I'd like to start with is one of my favorite things of this mod, and that is chickens. This is my chicken room. There's little chicken trophies, very cute. This is my chicken room. There are chickens in Stoneblock 3, just not nearly as many. But I really, really enjoyed doing this. All of the little miscellaneous bits were over here having to do with chickens. There's a crafting table and a storage crate, of course. This was a hatchery nesting pen getting me the regular drops. The breeding pens were in here. And then all of the chickens with all of their drops all the way down and around. Of course, when I was breeding chickens out here, then of course I had the nests and things. Storage drawer, so I could drop things off in here. I've got emerald chickens filling up these slots here. Those, you can see them blink in every once in a while. They are going into the EMC table. Over here, all the chickens that needed the compacting drawers, so I could just withdraw what I needed. Up here, again, those chickens. And then along the very top, these are all chickens powering the rest of my base. I decided to make my world chicken powered, and I would really like to do that in Stoneblock 3 as much as possible. Again, limited number of chickens, but I think, with what we can do, I think we just make as much as we can chicken powered, just because it's a lot of fun. A lot of these are going to the rainbow generator, but they are supplying different areas of the base, and you can kind of see that around back. Here, I was using the ender chests to supply all the chicken stuff to the rest of the base. This was my auto breeder. I honestly do not remember how I put it together. I think there's Ender IO conduit in the back, which I don't think is available in Stoneblock 3. There is a variation of it, so might be able to get it to work. And extra chickens got dumped into this chest. You can see that there is an item transfer node taking it out to my mob farms. And that little chicken farm is kind of one of my favorite things. We'll get to that in a little bit. So next to here, we have all of the different types of ores and things that come from sifting, or sieving, I believe is what was done in this pack. There are my cobblestone generators. My son said I should work toward an octuple compressed cobblestone. I'm not sure if that is actually a goal in this pack, but he thought it was important. Looks like I am almost there. I have 7 septuple, so he should be pleased with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are the other items that are created through, the hammering and sieving process. Again, more ores. And here are my sieves. I love these little auto sieves because you can put your friends' skins in them. This is Poet and War. That's my husband. This is Certain. That's my mother. Although my daughter Jade Angel plays her account, she will be getting her very own account soon. And then I've got PolkaDotSpot. She does create skins, by the way. She created this one and this one. So if you're interested, she is on Skin Decks under PolkaDotSpot. Anyway, it's really cute when you set these to working and they go do all of the sieving automatically and pulls all the stuff they need and then dumps it into the drawers. Very handy. And all of the extra sieving stuff went here. Back here, I've got a mob crusher to kill anything that might spawn. There might be like a slime chunk around. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. And then the furnace generator. I don't think I had anything automatically put in here because it very rarely needed to run. Underneath here, if I needed access to bedrock for making infinity stones, that's here. Plus all of my water mills and my dragon egg mill. So those all got placed under here. This is from Extra Cells too. I'm not sure why I put him down here other than he was close to the water. Bonk my head up there. Okay, so next we have, this slime block. It's here for a very special reason. When you spawn in to my world, it spawns you at a level quite a ways up there in the original room. Well, I, being the genius that I am, dug straight down to bedrock. We're about 10 blocks above because I wanted room for, cables and things underneath. But it had a interesting consequence. Now, I hadn't died in my world. I don't think I died until I went to fight the ender chicken. It turns out when you have sneaky kids that try to log into your world because, hey, mommy has LAN open, they think they're going to sneak into mommy's world. Well, it turns out I didn't have this slime block here. They would log in, and of course it would spawn them right up above this spot. And I had just dug straight down. So it was just a big hole, and they'd spawn in and just repeatedly splat themselves like right here. And of course it would respawn and they would go splat. And it was quite funny Like, Mommy, I'm stuck. It's like, well, you shouldn't be logging into my world. So that was really, really quite funny. So as a safety factor, I put this slime block in, not only so PolkaDotSpot could log in and help me with a couple of things, but that way, if and when I died and I hadn't set my home point or anything, that I didn't immediately die. So yeah, you tend to go bouncing quite a ways up, but at least you have a chance. Okay, so we have our hopping bonsais all set to drawer controllers. In Stoneblock 3, they've got a different version of storage drawers. There are drawers like this in here, but they work slightly differently. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to work that. I ran out of planks to do my covers, apparently. Of course, I had the dark matter pedestal to speed things up if and when I needed it. And all of the tree drops, or at least most of the tree drops, went in here. I've got logs and sticks going in here. This is a crafter that also crafts the logs into sticks, because there's a generator that feeds, I don't remember what generator it is that I'm feeding sticks to. Man, it just uses up those sticks like nobody's business. But I managed to speed it up some and got enough of a backlog that it's now keeping up with the trees that I'm running, plus making the logs into sticks. So yeah, there you go. Here is my farm. I guess I'm growing sugarcane with growth crystals. Tiny progressions, also not an ocean block. I don't know if it's an ocean block. I don't think it's an ocean block either.
I think so.
Tiny progressions also not in Stoneblock 3. Now keep in mind, Stoneblock 3 is in 1.18. So most of these mods haven't been updated or whatever. So it's interesting learning how to use different mods. So, I mean, that's cool. This was originally an auto wheat and seed transporter. It's back behind here, and it automatically transports those. Whoa, go for a swim there. It automatically transports the wheat over to the cow pen, I believe, and the seeds over to the chicken room, and it automatically feeds the feeders and stuff in there. So here is all of the things, if you can see past the sugar cane. There we go. And then the farmer, the harvester, is back here. This collected extra things. It's got an item collector on top in case this thing got backed up. I think with some upgrades, I finally got it to work quickly enough. But yeah, you can see it's still not keeping up with as fast as these tier 3 growth crystals go. And then back here, I had, I think, a couple extra things. I was, still growing a little bit of wheat. Oh, and then I've got all the sugar cane growing because, again, my son seemed to think I needed an octuple sugar cane as well. So looks like I've got 6 septuple.
3 more to go.
That's right. Okay, so yep, one of every tree in the game. Okay, next up, this is my Empowerer, I believe. Yes. So little Empowerer set up here. This was like a spot for all of the decorative things. It's the framing table, saw bench, painting machine. So anything that was used to make decorative blocks. This was my original power area. Started out with a little magmatic generator, and I put in lava, and when I made chickens, I found out a way. Well, I've got a hole in my floor. Somebody's slacking. I've got a hole in my floor. So I've got lava chickens back here. They are feeding through a mechanical user, punting out the lava eggs in here, getting collected by a fluid collector. It took me a while to get this to work correctly. And then it pumps it into the black hole tank, and then into here where it's sucked up, doing something in here. I don't remember. This was for doing things like making the netherrack and
Endstone.
Yeah, I don't even remember the processes now, but I know that that's what this setup was for, so I could pump in a certain item and then it would deposit whatever's left out. Oh, that's right, because this is connected in here, isn't it? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. So this pulls from here, and when it's an actual, this turns into the product it needs, and it spits it on here. So I think if I put dirt into the chest, it pulls it in here and it adds it to the lava, and then it creates whatever it's supposed to create here. So I think water would make the obsidian and whatever. Miscellaneous GPS markers. Okay, yeah, the GPS markers for the nodes. You know, I have not seen the cyclic nodes in many other packs. I absolutely love these. These are really a lot of fun. Anyway, so I've got the lava feeding all of these magmatic generators and the heated redstone generators. Then I've got all of these chickens back here also feeding the redstone generators and then pumping them into batteries and getting pulled out into flux plugs. Now, the reason there are so many up here is because of these little spectre coils I kept getting, and I just like, those are free energy. I mean, it's not a ton, but it's free energy. I just kept plonking them down on these little flux plugs. And then the energy transfer node was originally there before I ended up with the flux network to transfer energy to some different areas of the base. Next, we have our fluid cows. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I don't have a gate there. I've got armor that will allow me to fly, so it doesn't really matter. I don't remember why I put a gate in here. I think when I went AFK, like a random slime spawned in here and I got creamed. I don't know.
Creamed?
Well, I was AFK and they managed to kill me and hit my armor on or anything. But this area used to have pens in the middle. You can see my auto feeders and stuff were in here. So when I was breeding cows, this all had the pens in the middle, and then I would gradually fill up all of the cows in here. These are being fed from the mob farm. This has loot crates in it, as does Stoneblock 3. However, someone said, I think it was System, said there was no auto loot crate opener in Stoneblock 3. I hope that's either incorrect or that they have added that in, because I can't imagine not having an automatic loot crate opener. And that's kind of a bummer. So it was nice having that all fed in. And then this is, of course, various cow parts fed from the farm, I think, and the mob farm. I don't know. It's collected from different places. Anti-barrel. I loved these things. Also something I haven't seen in very many packs. But holds all of the things that you can't stack. Just absolutely wonderful. And, miscellaneous cow stuff. Of course, always handy to have a crafting table in when you're working. And then you start from here. This is going to be the milk and the water and your lava. The ender tanks, these are going toward the fluid room where they're fed out to the rest of the base, because it actually feeds down into the bottom one. These top ones were temporary duplicates. So when I made the fluid room and I needed these fluids over there, I would just take this over. As you can see, there's not a lot of them over there. Didn't really need a bunch more in the fluid room. So there's a couple in there. Destabilized redstone. Don't remember what some of these were. I was using evil infused iron. And of course, all of the top cows are making molten infinity. All of these are molten infinity cows. So I think next up should be the fluid room. Huh? I'll use this. Fluid room. Boom. Okay, here we are. So in the fluid room, you can see we are making witch water. It'll suck it into the ender tank and bring it over here somewhere. Witch water. There we are. We'll have essence, witch water, milk, liquid meat. I love those. What if I got the... Let's see. How do I open the... Well, baubles?
Yeah, baubles. Yeah, it's baubles.
There we go. Meat feeder. Oh my goodness, I love these things. Another one that I haven't seen a lot of. Do we have an Industrial 4 going in Stoneblock 3?
I don't know.
No.
Okay, we do, because The Wither Builder's in.
That's right, the Wither Builder. So if they've ported this part to 1.18, then hey, Meat Feeder, woohoo! They don't have Pam's Harvest Craft in Stoneblock 3, which is a bit disappointing, but they do have Farm Market. What was it? Anyway, so we've got the Ender tanks feeding into the black hole tanks. I think the pressurized fluid was because I wasn't able to get the Ender tank playing nice with the black hole tanks. So I don't know, it makes an interesting look to the room anyway. And then of course I've got more tanks as I needed more things, but I never really did. So I've got my potion maker over here. This is glass bottles. And then of course the potion brewer will make potions whenever I need it. I've got my sink here. It's also supplying water to the water ender tank. This has got a cow above it as well. I mean, you know, why not? I needed a water cow because is there a water cow? Then I have a water cow. So that's what all of this little thing is for. And of course the hydrator feeds off the sink as well. Believe this is where my original water section was when I made my first water, was right over here in this area. Pink slime being fed from a cow, I believe. This is coming from the cow with the ender tank. It's coming into the pressurized fluid tank. It's feeding it into here. It's also feeding it into my little slime creator, which I will show you in a second. And then if you put iron bars in here, it makes slime ingots. So you have the cows feeding the molten infinity and the liquid enchanted metal in here, creating the blocks. Now these of course are not here because they are being fed directly into the EMC table, and my dark matter pedestal, because I needed to speed this up when I was trying to, get the EMC. Again, this is ready for making other things which I never had the need to do. I kind of like how my little beach liquid room came out. I'm quite pleased with this design. I may need a fluid room in Stoneblock 3. I don't know about, when I said industrial foregoing is there, that means I've got black hole tanks and
liquid meat in a meat feeder.
I'm hoping liquid meat is in there. Remember, that's going to be a redone mod because this is in 1.12. where all of the mods were originally in, and then that's 1.18. So next up, I'm going to show you my little pink slime. Oh, quick pause. This is PolkaDotSpot's panda bear that she made. And then, of course, my little Botania tiny potato. Hi. Pink slime. This is fed pink slime from the... Gosh, I can't even say. It must be just the fluid transfer node directly into it, rather than having an ender chest over here. Ender tank. And then this mechanical user will use the emerald swords to slay the pink slime when it spawns. And then this transfer node will dump it back into storage. That's another thing that isn't EMCable, I believe. Okay, I don't think I have this disabled.
You don't have the redstone torch.
Really? Can I not?
You can EMC redstone torches.
Wow. Are you serious? Do I not have
a redstone torch?
Okay, my hotkeys are messed up. That's really funny. How do I not have a redstone torch in there? Learned. I didn't have a redstone torch. I'm doing a final base tour and I don't have a redstone torch. That's like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, tell you what, son. I have a feeling that a redstone torch is... Yeah. Oh, there we go. Poof. Okay.
Now we can do it.
Right. I don't want it to pulse. There we go. Okay, so it should spit the slime out and create the slime, and then you can see it gets punched to death, and then it sucks up the loot, takes it elsewhere. Okay. That is really funny, though. Never needed a redstone torch, I guess. All right, well, hey, rainbow generator. Danger, do not enter. Now, I've got enough armor to keep me alive, but there's one in there that will give you like an instant death if you're in there for too long. But we'll zip in here. There is the rainbow generators. I have potion generators. Yep, all of the automatic stuff is...
That's where the potion...
Yeah, right. No, actually, this makes its own potions. Disenchantments, explosives. That's what was hitting me there. Slimy generator. All right, let's go out here and let it reset. Except I'm stuck. Had fly on.
Now, mob farm time.
No, we're going to look at the back of these. I'm actually quite proud of these. Some of these are just fed from the chickens. Some are fed from EMC links. This is growing snow. This is, of course, pulses all of the generators, so it doesn't just completely suck up all of my energy. And then the rainbow generators are, of course, supplying the big ball. The big ball. Love the big ball.
That's the draconic ball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go to the coolest
We got
section.
one more. This was a little room, like a little summoning room with a stone barrel, and you had certain things that you would summon. This is
The door is the coolest thing.
it is a pretty cool door. Although dark ineffable, I can actually go right through. So the door was just, I don't know, psych. I guess if I really wanted to let the mob out, I don't remember. So you can see my mob farms here. They've all been converted to...
Liquid death.
No, it's witch water. They're converted to the mob farm, I don't know, that turns them into different mobs. Like the skeletons will get turned into wither skeletons, and creepers get lightning creepers, stuff like that.
Or charged creatures.
Charged creepers, yeah. So that's an ender inhibitor, I believe, or an ender tether, I think. Tanks for XP. You can see that these are also chicken powered, powering the generator that's supplying the mob killer, and then,
Bonus generator.
of course, taking all of the loot out. So I've got 4 of these farms here. This one just had, I don't know, faster vector plates. And this is one of my favorite bits. You can see PolkaDotSpot made egg splats, little shell on the bottom. Because as you can see, any eggs or any extra chickens that are received in loot crates all come here. That was what that extra crate was in the chicken room. If I had extra chickens, like when I was breeding and I had the miscellaneous ones, I could dump them in here. This automatically uses them, dumps them out onto the ground, and then we harvest the chickens. Kind of neat. I used to have a cloche making wheat, so, you know, providing the seeds and everything, but I've since linked that to the farms over there. So it's kind of neat, really. Of course, there's the coal supplying the generator, supplying the mob slaughter factory. Again, there's a meat tank, and then another pink slime. Huh. I only have 10 smart chickens or 8 smart chickens in here. I think it was supplying too many eggs. And I got it like way overloaded in there. But yeah, every once in a while, the loot crates will provide a chicken or something, and it puts it in there and automatically uses it. All right. This is Corbin's favorite part, and that's my wither farm. So here's where all of the loot comes in. All of the little trophies. Those are cute. So, of course, the wither farm is using these up, and then the nether stars are being supplied to the rainbow generator. Here is the loot crate opener. That's all back behind here. It's a very complicated wiring that took me forever to get to work. This is where all of the unstackable things went. I'm now having those destroyed. Some of those unstackable things, if they had enchants on them, they went into the disenchantment generator. That was another, wow, that was very hard to do. Anyway, loot crates are in Stoneblock 3. That will be fun to play with. No googly eyes. There is no draconic evolution, so the way I did this wither farm won't be able to be done. However, there is the, was it industrial foregoing? Has the, yeah, industrial foregoing has the wither builder, which I believe I used in Sky Odyssey, which another one that I've gotten almost to the end. I just haven't finished the filming for. And then we can zip through here. We'll wait until he explodes. My armor will keep me alive, but... Yep, dropped a head. Okay. So you can see there's a way in here that's not completely blocked off. You can see the mechanics in here. This... What are these? Auto placers, right. It places the soul sand, and of course the draconic evolution portal sucks it into that room there. This is what grabs all of the loot and the XP and takes it over into the loot, the mob farm loot. Also, chicken powered. Yes, thank you very much.
Of course, chicken powered.
Yeah, and this is just pulling the wither skeleton skulls in directly. And this is also dumping in the wither skulls, I believe, the ones that drop from here. So, yeah. All right. Oh, that's right. And the odd cow comes in here too. There's where that cow loot's coming from. When it gives you those cows out of the loot crates, this also summons the cows. I don't like the googly eyes on myself, which I disabled, but I really like...
The googly eyes.
There we go! There's a googly-eyed wither.
That's the funniest thing in the universe.
Is he cute? Not so scary with your googly eyes behind this glass, huh, buddy? There we go. We want to go check out the blast room? Okay, apparently the blast room is actually at the end. This is where I would do all of the summoning the ender chicken, and it looks like chance cubes.
Yeah,
now,
chance cubes.
there was something I wanted to see. You know, sometimes the chance cubes can pull in the mansions. What I wanted to know is if it pulled the structure in, if it spawned the vindicators and stuff that were in here, because there was something that we needed in this pack, and I'm not really sure I remember what it was, but the only way you could get them, maybe it was the totem or something?
Yeah.
The only way you could get them
Was from evokers.
Evokers, whatever. Yeah. And then, of course, you needed that to be in here. So I did manage to spawn in a mansion, and it did not, in fact, spawn the illagers with it. So that was quite disappointing. Very long hallway. This has all my chance cubes in it. I think PolkaDotSpot brought some chance cubes over here. When I told her to do it in the end, my blast room used to be off where the cows were. It was behind there. But I moved that blast room, and I told her to go off into the end because I had dug that out to some of the chickens. And I told her to do that, and instead she came into my spawn area. Okay, that must have been in the previous world. She came into my spawn-in spot with the end, and it was covered in water. I mean, I was underwater. It was actually kind of funny. Okay, so I can go home from here. No, it just doesn't like capital. Oh, I spawned at spawn. Okay, perfect demonstration of what happens when you spawn into my world uninvited. That is actually the blast room now, which is the end. The mining dimension, same thing. It'll take you to the mining dimension. Now, Stoneblock 2 has been done in layers. So you mine all the way up to the ceiling, basically bedrock at the ceiling, and then you touch it, and then you transport to the mining dimension. And then you transport again. If you go all the way up, that's when you transport into the end. So that will take me into the regular dimension. Using the mining dimension, you can use those EFNs or something. They're explosive, and they just will explode all of that stuff and drop all of the ore and the blocks and everything, and then you just go pick them up. Super duper easy. I believe with this one I might have used a quarry. Okay, we have the Thaumcraft area, which is empty.
Because you haven't done anything.
This is one thing. Now I've got dread lamps and mega torches, and I did not know how to do Thaumcraft when last I played this pack. So I will show you my quest journal here in a minute. And Britannia I did not completely finish, but I have a nice big area for my Britannia things and my little paper walls and all of my chests that had all of it. Oh, actually, draconium chests. Yeah, really neat. Where I was storing all of the stuffs and things and stuff and things. I've got the max EMC and I said all of the stuff to make the transmutation tablet. I was just enjoying watching this make all of the balanced clay, and that's where I last played. This was to compare my base now, and then it's going to be similar, but with so many mods different, it's going to be very different in Ocean Block 3. Which brings me to... What's this translocator? Woohoo!